Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Primetime Fantasy. I'm your host, Mike Hunt. The 2018 GFL Playoffs are upon us. The road to Fantasymaina 10 begins now. Let's take a look at your playoff bracket. In our first matchup, you'll see at the number 1 seed, our regular season champion, William May, and Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife. Finishing the season with a career best 12-2 record, William May will be taking on the wild card, Scott and the Gadgets. Scott and the Go-Go Gadgets clinched that wild card spot with a big win last week. On the other side of the bracket, we've got GFL champion, the phenomenal one, LJ, taking on the Commissioner. The phenomenal one will be looking to defend his GFL championship in the main event of Fantasymaina 10. He'll have to get past GFL Commissioner Greg Parr Jr. first. Let's now take a closer look at all our participants in this year's GFL Playoffs. Up first, William May and Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife. William May is a former GFL champion, winning the title in 2013. As we said earlier, William May finishes this season with a career best 12-2 record coming into this year's playoffs as the regular season champion. He is a former Owner of the Year from 2017, and in his championship season, he also took home the scoring title. Now, even with all that being said, recently things have not been going Williams' way. Finishing out the regular season with a loss to the Seamen, he has now fallen short of his weekly projected score 6 weeks in a row. He is also dealing with injuries to his starting running backs, Melvin Gordon, who was unable to play Thursday, and James Conner, who is doubtful for Sunday. This opens the door for our wild card team, Scott Michael and the Go-Go Gadgets. Scott has been able to start a almost perfect lineup week in and week out, being named the Coach of the Year for this past season. He had a nice run in the playoffs just a few short years ago, winning Rookie of the Year and finishing 3rd place in 2015. Now, Scott came out of nowhere this season to clinch this wild card spot, of course, last week, beating Nick Marble by 1.38 points to secure this spot. He will be looking for the upset in this one. Taking a look now at our current GFL champion, the phenomenal one, LJ. LJ is a former 2-time champion, winning titles in 2010 and last year in 2017, looking for a GFL record 3rd championship this season. Speaking of this season, he also won the scoring title and broke the Commissioner's record for most points scored in a season. A very impressive 3rd place finish in 2016, but most importantly for the phenomenal one. Lots of momentum heading into the playoffs, currently riding a 7-game winning streak. To get that back-to-back championship and his 3rd overall title, LJ is going to need to get past the Commissioner. Greg Parr Jr. was our inaugural champion back in 2009 when the league was known as the Carolinas Fantasy Football League. Recently, he's had a 2nd place finish in 2016, along with a scoring title from the same year, and a 3rd place finish last year. The Commissioner has been chasing the gold for the past 9 seasons and will look to be main eventing Fantasymaina in hopes of a 2nd GFL championship. Let's give you an update now on your playoff matchups. A lot of action this past Thursday night. Let's take a look at Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife versus the Gadgets. Scott and the Gadgets take an early lead in this one, a big lead, 45-0, with the help of Patrick Mahomes and Damian Williams. Our projected score now for this one has Scott and the Gadgets winning 116-103. William May has got a lot of ground to make up. If Scott and the Gadgets are able to get the win, it will be his first appearance in the main event of Fantasymaina. 2 men who are no stranger to the granddaddy of them all. It's the phenomenal one and the Commissioner. In a tight matchup, the Commissioner currently has the early lead, 28-22. The Commissioner was led by quarterback Phillip Rivers with 18.5 points, and Kansas City tight end Travis Kelce with 9.6. On the other side of this matchup, the phenomenal one. Quite a performance from 3rd string running back from LA, Justin Jackson, giving LJ 16 points. A disappointing performance, however, from wide receiver from Kansas City, Tyreek Hill, with only 6 points. That could be a difference maker in this one, opening the door for the Commissioner. Projections in this matchup have the phenomenal one winning 117 to 108, but it will all come down to Monday Night Football as New Orleans takes on Carolina. Both teams with big players in that one. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Primetime Fantasy. We are only 1 week away from Fantasymaina 10. What an exciting week of first-round playoff matchups we've got in store for you. Everyone enjoy the games and tune in next week for more Primetime Fantasy.